challenged local people to try and burn them down. He didn't know Scousers too well, because we do like living up to a challenge, and we started a bonfire right in the middle of it. But for love and the money, we could not burn it down, and so the merchants kept the trade in Liverpool, and it even increased to the point where up to 60% of the world's trade came through the port of Liverpool. But on the right hand side, you'll be able to see what looks like a chess piece. It's a pump house that was built in 1856, and that bridge used to be immigration many years ago, so anything illegal found here would be burnt inside that pump house, so we got the nickname of King's Pipe. But at the end of the warehouses on the right hand side, you'll be able to see 7 pillars that still remain. Well, unfortunately, the warehouse is not bomb-proof. And in 1941, in the May Blitz, in 8 days, Liverpool was bombed 68 times. And in them 8 days alone, 4,000 people lost their lives, 30,000 people were injured, and 70,000 people lost their homes. So they've been left up as a memorial to all the people that died. I'm just going to tell you a little bit of information about the vehicle that we're on. It's called a duck bus because it's a D-U-K-W duck bus. D is for the date 1942 when it was first made in Detroit, America. That's Tyler Stevens on the left. Did we notice? Really? Okay. I believe you. Yeah, the Stevens on the left because it was made in America. U is for amphibious because they go on land and in water. K is for 6-wheel drive, and W is for twin rear axle. That's why they're called a duck bus. We've got 4 bilge pumps on board. There's 2 at the front and 2 at the back. They're the things that keep us afloat when we're in the water. And underneath the floor is a Higgins pump. So we got a hole this big, we still stay afloat between 7 to 9 hours. I'd get you off before then. I'm sure I would. I'm due home in about an hour, so I think I'd want you off, definitely. Well, these vehicles were used in the D-Day landings in 1944. If there's any bullet holes, please let me know. I've got some chewy and duct tape up the front, and we'll be alright. And they would have looked very different. They wouldn't have had the roof, the sides, or the seats. We've got a maximum capacity of 30 people. They would have carried between 70 to 80 soldiers, all carrying backpacks and guns, so we're very proud of them boys. And the last thing, this is just a guess though, it probably wasn't yellow. It was probably a different colour. What do we say? Shed key colour. Shed key. Or khaki. Just depends which one you want. Well, we're back in the Wapping Basin, and it was built to link the Wapping Dock with the Salthouse Dock to let the ships be able to sail through and park their cargo in the Albert Dock warehouses. Well, coming up on the left-hand side is the Duke's Dock, and it's the very first privately owned dock because it was owned by the Duke of Bridgewater III. And now it's not privately owned. You can go along there, and you can actually be Jesus for the day. You get to walk on water. You've got the big plastic balloons, and you can get inside, but rather than running down the hill, you can walk on water. How cool is that? And do you know how much it'll cost you to be Jesus? £5 for 10 minutes. That's not bad, is it? I know, that's pretty good. That should be their advert, shouldn't it? £5 to be Jesus. I reckon everyone will come down to have a look, wouldn't they? They probably think £5 to meet Jesus, they definitely will be down, wouldn't they? Well, we're coming back into the Salthouse Dock. And you might have noticed that there's chains hanging down all over the docks. Well, these are called man chains, and they are the Victorians' idea of a life-saving device. Because in Victorian times, 75% of dockers couldn't swim. So to save you from drowning, they come up with the chains. If you fell in, you could doggy paddle over, grab hold of the chain and pull yourself up, or swing over to a ladder where you could climb out. And it did work. It took the death rate from 2,000 to 200 in these docks alone. But ladies, there isn't any women chains, unfortunately. So I'm hoping we weren't stupid enough to fall in, because I don't know what would have happened. You see, we weren't allowed to be sailors or work on the docks, but Maggie May did work with the sailors in the docks. So I think maybe she would have needed one. Well, over on the left-hand side is the Echo Arena, and it's very eco-friendly because it produces 75% of its own electricity, and it even collects the rainwater in the roof, and this is used inside the toilets for the cleaning facilities. And swing around on the right, we're going to be able to see our liver birds. They reside on the top of the liver buildings, and they are the mythical bird of Liverpool. They've got the head of an eagle and the body of a cormorant. They're 18 feet high, 23 feet wide, and made of copper. They're bigger than a double-decker bus. Don't they look tiny on there? Well, the myth is if ever they fly away, the city of Liverpool will fall into the Mersey and be no more. So we've chained them down to make sure they don't go anywhere. One of them's male and one of them's female. How you tell the difference? The female looks out to sea because she's checking to see all the talent coming in on the ships. Thanks. And the male, well, he looks over to land because he's checking to see if the pubs are open and what the football scores are. And they're definitely married. Do you know how we can tell? Because they've been stood back to back and they haven't spoken in years. Oh, God love them. We're now in the Albert Dock, named after Prince Albert. And you are very lucky to be here because in the 80s it was very run down. There was no water in the docks. And Tesco's owned this plot of land, and what they were going to do is knock down all the warehouses, fill in the dock, build a Tesco's and a multi-storey car park. That's what Liverpool City Council was going to let them do. That's terrible, isn't it? Well, thanks to a London MP, Michael Heseltine, you've got to love him, because he came to the docks on a visit to Liverpool and he saw the potential and he got investors to invest money in it. And so it is what you see today. And the Albert Dock complex is the largest amount of Grade 1 listed buildings to be found anywhere in the UK in one site alone. And Liverpool is second to London for Grade 1 listed buildings. But in a moment, on the left-hand side in the corner, we're going to see 3 grey pillars, and this is where they used to film this morning. And where the yellow boat is, a bigger on there, this is where Fred's weather map used to be. And we're all very cruel because we'd watch it every day, hoping he'd fall in. We did, didn't we? Well, in 2,000 performances, he only fell in 3 times, so he didn't do too bad, did he? Here's Fred and Wilma. Oh, Dorothy's got to give him some bread. Come on, Fred and Wilma.
Oh, dear. Oh, the fighting over it, Annabelle. Oh, he must be hungry, mustn't he? Oh, are they hungry? Oh, you've had your fill.
He's greedy, isn't he?
He's really swanky.
Doesn't share properly in, does he?
No. He must have been an only child, mustn't he? Doesn't know how to share. Lady Swap.
That's all the pets, isn't he?
Well, does anyone remember the streaker that Fred had? It was male and he was from Liverpool. Guess what? He's here today. Don't tell anyone now. I know, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to tell anyone because he promised Maritime he'd never come back. But I do tell him he looks a bit different with his clothes on, so it's alright, isn't it? But what you always tell me about that day?
Very cold.
It was very cold. I don't know what that means, those then. Well, the Albert Dock complex and our 3 graces make Liverpool a World Heritage City. The 3 graces, or the 3 sisters, all have names: the Faith, Hope and Charity. Faith is the port of Liverpool building with the dome on the top, because this was originally the site for the Anglican Cathedral. The one with the flat roofs and the flags is the Cunard, because it has the Cunard shipping line. And people would go there buying tickets hoping to start a new life in other countries. And the Liver building with the Liver beds on is Charity, because it housed a life insurance company that was handing out charitable money to all the people that couldn't afford to bury the dead after the 2 world wars. What's going on with the warehouse over there? Is that for their exhibition, you think? They've got a colour exhibition on at the moment in the Tate, but it looks discoloured, doesn't it? I'll have to clean that up. That looks terrible, that does.